This is Into Math 3rd grade, lesson 11.2, Find Perimeter. I can measure the lengths of the sides of polygons using inch or centimeter units to find the perimeter of a polygon. I can add side lengths to find the perimeter. Please gather your workbook and a pencil and turn to page 308. We will start under Build Understanding Part 1, and you can pause at any time. Eric is making labels for his science poster. He wants to glue a piece of yarn around the sides of each label. So let's take a look at Part A. How can you find the length of the yarn in inches that Eric needs for each label? Well, we notice here that the label is a rectangle. That's the polygon that we have here, which is the label. It has 4 sides. And what tool are we going to need to find the measurement in inches? If you looked over here and saw a ruler, you are correct. We are definitely going to need a ruler, and if you don't have one today, that's okay. You can follow along with me. I'll put a ruler up here on the screen, but let's go ahead and answer this question. So we can explain that I can use an inch ruler to measure each side of the label. The perimeter is the length of yarn needed to go around the label. So again, if you have a ruler, you can pause to go get your ruler, or just follow along with me, that's fine too. Okay, so now that I have my ruler, we are ready to measure each side. I will start by measuring the top side first. So I align my ruler to the top of the label. When I measure the top side, I find that it is 3 inches. When I measure the bottom length, I also find that it is 3 inches, which I know because a rectangle has 2 sides that are both the same length. So I will write 3 inches for the bottom length. Now I will use my ruler to measure the other side, which we find to measure as 1 inch. And we know that both sides are the same measurement. Now all 4 sides of the label are measured. Let's take a look at Part B. What equation can you write to find the length of yarn that Eric needs? How long is that piece of yarn? So to find the perimeter, we are going to need to add all of the lengths of the side of the figure. So if you'd like to pause and try this on your own and come back, you can do so. And when you do, you will find that we add 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 3. That would be all of the sides. And when we add this equation, we calculate this equation, we will find the answer to be 8. So how long is the piece of yarn? The piece of yarn must be 8 inches. Let's take a look at Part 2. Rhonda has an alligator sticker. How can Rhonda find the perimeter of her sticker in centimeters? So last time we were working with inches, and this time we're working with centimeters. So we can explain that Rhonda can use a centimeter ruler to find the length of each side and then add the lengths. Okay, let's start by measuring in centimeters. So you're probably going to need to just turn your ruler over to the other side to find those centimeters. Otherwise, you can just follow along here with me. So we will start by placing our ruler on top of the alligator sticker. And again, we're measuring in centimeters. So we start where the first line is before, not the beginning of the ruler, but where that line is on the ruler. And we can see that the alligator sticker on the top is 8 centimeters long. And we know that it is the same measurement underneath the bottom length, 8 centimeters as well. Now we're ready to measure the side lengths. And when I take the ruler and turn it towards the side length, I find that the side length is 2 centimeters. And we know that both sides are the same length, so I can write in 2 centimeters on the other side as well. Now we can take a look at Part B. What equation can you write to find the perimeter? If you would like to pause and try this part on your own and come back, you may do so, or just follow along with me. So to find the perimeter, which is the distance around the entire figure, I am going to add each length together. So I'm going to write the equation 2 plus 8 plus 2 plus 8 equals, and then again, if you would like to pause and solve this equation and come back, you can do so. And when you do, you will find that the answer is 20. So the perimeter in centimeters is 20 centimeters. Now let's take a look at page 309 under Step It Out, Part 3. Mrs. Lopez is making quilt pieces. She wants to sew ribbon around the sides of each quilt piece. Part A, use a centimeter ruler to measure the length of each side. So you will need your centimeter ruler again, and if you don't have one, you can just follow along here with me and take a look at the first top measurement length that we're going to measure. You should find that there are 5 centimeters. Now let's measure the next side length. If you'd like to pause and write in your answer, you can do so. When you come back, you will find that it is 3 centimeters. Now let's measure the next side. You should find that this side is also 3 centimeters. Now we will measure the bottom length, which we find to be 5 centimeters. So we will write that in. And then we will measure the next side, which we also find will be 3 centimeters, just like the other sides were. So we will write in 3 centimeters, and then we will measure the final side, which we also find to be 3 centimeters. So we will write that in as well, and now we have found all of the 6 sides of the shape. Part B asks us to add the lengths of the sides. So if you would like to pause and write the equation and solve the problem, do so and come back, or feel free to follow along with me. I'm going to start at the top and go clockwise to make sure that I get all of the numbers. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3. So I have a total of 6 numbers here. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3. And again, you can pause now and add this on your own. And when you come back, you will find that the answer is 22. And so part C asks, what is the length of ribbon she needs for each quilt piece? And we can answer 22 centimeters, which we abbreviate as cm. Just like when we were writing inches, we write IN as the abbreviation. As always, you can always go back and rewatch this video if you'd like and pause along the way as needed.